Good evening. We are live from the Kelowna Curling Club, and my name is Lee Armstrong, and I'm joined with Steve Wright. We will be your commentators for this semifinal match, BC versus Ontario at the Travelers Curling Club Championship.
I think we're in for a real treat tonight, Lee, in the semifinal matchup against Ontario versus British Columbia. Both teams are well prepared and ready to play, and let's see what sort of action we get out here.
Pretty conservative start. We're throwing it right into the rings. It's nice to get a feel for the ice in the first couple ends.
And even though these players have a lot of experience, it's nice to get the butterflies out of the way, throw a couple of simple shots, hit the brim, throw the right weight, get settled in. There's a large crowd here tonight. It's not going to affect these players any. So I anticipate a fairly clean first end or two, and then we'll see some corner guards and center guards going up.
It's not uncommon to see some ice changes in the surface in the playoffs. This is a 10-sheet facility, and it's been full every draw until you hit the playoffs. And sometimes that means less bodies on the ice, means a little bit different ice surface, and we'll see how they manage.
Yeah, there's a couple of advantages too to this, where the noise level out there is quite a bit less. Communication's a lot easier for the players. But the changes in the surface with each sheet having one open side, we'll just have to watch for that as the game goes on. I think the players will pick up on it as it happens. That's one of the skills that these guys do have.
Not to mention it's their third game of the day for BC.
Yeah, BC lost their last couple of games in the round robin. They were all excellent games, just one shot here and there. So instead of advancing straight to the quarterfinals, they ended up having to play a tiebreaker against Team Yukon, which I believe the Team Yukon was the last rock win for BC. So it's been a long day for them already.
And even when BC played Ontario in the last game of the round robin, it was a very tight match.
Yeah, it was an excellent game. Real chess match right down to the end, and Ontario prevailed to keep their record at a perfect 6-0. So BC would like to make up for that loss coming out today and get themselves into the final.
Good throw.
Fairly simple first end. BC's chosen to replace rocks in the house. Be interesting to see if Ontario does change gears here and go to offense if there is a hit and roll behind the tee line. His options then become either a corner guard or a freeze. Try and work a deuce that way. Or
Corte tried to sweep that over there with the directional sweeping without any luck.
Is it early enough to corner, or do we just play the bantam way? Okay.
Play the bantam way.
Yeah, interesting comment.
That's funny. We also call that a junior deuce when it's just a wide open end and you end up scoring two. And I know for my curling team, I play lead for Sherry Madaw. There's nothing wrong with a junior deuce. Two is two.
Yeah, the junior deuce, the no stress deuce, I've heard a few different names for it.
Every end could be like that.
Yeah. And his options, referring to the junior deuce, his option was to split the house and keep the rocks well apart and hit and stick and work his deuce that way. Or because it's so early in the end, he did consider throwing a corner guard. So he's prepared to go on offense. This is going to be a lot of fun for us to call tonight. So BC's now going to try and hit and roll to group these stones, and eventually, hopefully, get himself into a position where they can make a double, and then force Ontario to roll out for the blank. So
Sandy's ran nice here.
It's also nice to keep it open in the first end. I mean, this is the semifinals of a national championship. There's got to be some butterflies, a little nervous.
and the heart rates, they'll be up and down the sheet a couple of times, sweep a bit, get a little bit of burn a little bit of that nervous energy. So it doesn't matter who you are. That's why the professional curlers that we know in Canada have psychologists now. That's exactly why they have them, how to deal with their anxiety, how to deal with their stress and when they're on the ice.
Hard.
That's right.
Hard for nose.
So it's no different for these guys. This is a curling club member championship, but these guys are still athletes. These guys are still, these men and women are still excellent curlers.
And you look at David Staples, for instance. He just won the Tier 2 championship, the last slam in Cranbrook with Greg Ballston. Plays with Dana Durrell on tour in Ontario. Very well accomplished curler. He can throw them high and hard.
That's a nice weapon to have in any curling game, especially as a second.
You want to be back 8, I guess, but
So now the discussion for Team Ontario is we just had a flash by Team BC, just at a spot where we've seen a lot of curl all week. You can't cheat the broom, and he wants to put this rock in a position where there's no triple, really, is his goal. He's not thinking 3 at this point. He's thinking a solid 2.
It's funny, you think, okay, I just got to throw another one in the house. And sometimes it's hard to pick where exactly you want to put another one, because you don't want to set up an easy
clean it then.
double or
You want to be a
triple.
little better than back
So they're
4.
opting for back 8,
Yeah,
back
they-
4.
Right here. I think he needs help.
So if he makes a double on the
This is another option
one
if you
that's
really
top
want.
8
Like
and
you
this
could back
one
here,
at the
yep.
back 8, he would roll wide,
Yep,
which
go
would
right
keep
back.
his rocks separated, which would keep his 2 alive. So
Right, potentially.
we'll see what Ron does.
So at this point, Ron will want to group the rocks as close together as possible.
Yeah, and Ron's indicated a hit and roll in front to make Ontario's hit for 3 just a little bit more difficult. So now it's just a question of execution.
Ron and Norm have been playing together for 27 consecutive years, and they still like each other, apparently.
I think you would have a hard time finding anybody that's met Ron Schmidt that did not get along with him. He's just one of the true gentlemen of the sport. Just a really, really nice person. I had the opportunity to go to Comox to play in their event 2 weeks ago, and it was an absolute pleasure to meet him and his family.
That's a great shot right in front. It makes the Ontario shot a little bit more difficult and a little bit more precise.
He's just got to be a little bit cuter. He's probably going to have to bring the weight down just a hair, because he definitely wants to stick around to keep his 3 alive. Ron's, I had a chance to talk to Ron for a couple of minutes before the game, and he mentioned that his brother's in Adelaide, Australia, watching our stream online.
What time is it in Australia?
I guess they're 16 hours ahead, so what would that be? Somebody better at math better work on that one. Ron showed me the email that his brother had sent him, and the gist of the email was, we love this Canadian sport. It's like frozen lawn bowls. So,
Close, Graham. Whoa.
as far as the Aussies are concerned, we are frozen lawn bowlers.
Really
It's
hard.
1:30 in the afternoon in Australia right now.
Go on that
Oh,
one. Okay.
clips the back one and loses it. I think that's probably a sigh of relief for Team BC
I liked it all the way down.
and a potential double here.
So the 3 is off the table, and I think
They called it up, yeah. So I wasn't.
I think
I thought we were.
I think Ron is calling just a hit and roll over in front. The double is there.
I don't care. Let's play this. Yeah. No, you're like your dad. Up normal. A whole big weight rule. No, I thought you threw down.
He's talking up normal weight, so it's firm. Won't curl as much. Tendency just off the center line is that for with that kind of weight with a good release, it'll track a little bit. So Ron definitely wants to stick around if he doesn't make the double. So he's got a couple of options here. If it curls up a little bit more, he can flop in front of the Yellowstone in the 12-foot. Hopefully be shot stone and make Ontario's shot for. Whoa.
Yeah.
It's close.
Whoa! Whoa! Whoa!
Hit it a little thinner than he wanted to, and it gives Ontario an open draw for their 2.
Yeah, he removes the object rock, so part A was completed. Now a draw for 2 for Ontario to start the game.
Well, maybe a hair slow. Draw the buttons, what, a 90? Yeah.
The speed of the ice and the conditions out here have been super, super consistent all week long. After playing 6 games out there, Mr. Forget, the skip of Ontario, I'm predicting that he is very, very close with this. And it's been a real treat having really nice ice conditions for the players that they can come out and showcase their talents. A nice surface, a consistent surface is all that the players ask for, and that's exactly what they've been given by the ice makers here in
And
Kelowna.
lands right on the button for 2 for Ontario, and it's nice to open with a deuce.
Now it's going to get interesting. I think BC is going to have to go hard to get their deuce right back and get this game off on the right foot for them. See, a couple of our local sponsors were up on the screen for a while there. Without them, we wouldn't be able to be here. So
How much you got? How much? 9? Okay.
I'm fortunate enough to work for Travelers Canada out of their Oakville office, and I've been involved with the Travelers Curling Club Championship since the inception and inaugural year in 2009, and I was the Travelers Curling Club Championship chair for those years, and have had such a great experience in meeting curlers from across Canada and building this event to being one of the premier events for club curlers, the premier event for club curlers in Canada.
yeah, this is it. This whole program for putting on an event of Briar and Scotty's caliber for the regular curler, for the Tuesday night men's team who wins their club championship and goes to their regionals and goes to their provincials and ends up at an event like this. I've spoken to a lot of the players throughout the week and their families that are here with them, and they're just so proud to wear their provincial colors, just like they see on TV at the Scotties and the Briar, and it's quite a warm, fuzzy feeling.
There's no better feeling.
Having everybody so into it. So
I was lucky enough to play my first junior national in 1998 at the Kelowna Curling Club here. and we went 8-4, and we didn't even get into tiebreakers with 8-4. And ironically, we went two other on national juniors, and we're 8-4, and got no tiebreakers. We didn't
That's
get
just
into the
unlucky.
playoffs.
That's
I
just
know.
unlucky. Yeah.
Anyways, we had a fabulous experience, and it's such a great facility to be able to have all of the teams playing at the same time, and it's actually a very electric feeling, and it set the bar very high for any of the other national championships I've been to. It's by far my favorite one because of that reason. And when we were Team Ontario, we were playing with John Moore, or playing the same year that John Morris won here at the Kelowna Curling Club. And it was quite something to play next to them every round robin game. I think we were set up though, Steve, because I'm from Ontario and you're a BC guy.
I'm just fighting it over here, Lee. We're gonna not be homers, and we're going to do this impartially and have a lot of fun. The second end started out exactly how we would expect it to start out. Ontario up to asked for the first one into the house. BC asked for a corner guard. The rock slipped into the house. Then BC changed strategy, went to hit a rock in the 4-foot, rolled out, and Ontario chose to remove their own stone. So BC is down 2. Ontario has dictated play in the end by a half shot from BC. So be interesting to see if we get a nose hit here, whether BC freezes to this rock, tries to work a deuce that way. They do have options. Even if he rolls in a bit, we may see BC still throw a corner, or they may just decide to pass on this end and go to the third end, try and blank this end. So it's a chess game.
To get those guards up, especially when you're down a couple.
Hasn't really squared off yet.
And historically at the Kelowna Curling Club, it is just a hair faster coming back towards the glass, and we've seen it over and over again this week, where the second end is usually a little bit faster than the first end, and then having it a little bit faster, only about a half a second coming back towards the glass, that those corner guards and center guards have been slipping into the house. So these guys are smart curlers. Now, just like we'd predicted, Ron has asked for a corner guard. And the rocks are just gliding. So.
You into it?
And that's one of those things where you have to continually remind your players, remind your team, okay, we're going towards the glass, it's quicker. It's so easy to forget.
Exactly. And Ontario Skip is not going to let Ron dictate the play. He's removing the corner guard, and that was the hardest thing when I was trying to teach some of my friends that are not curlers when we're watching a game on TV. When a skip goes out to remove a rock that's not counting short of the house, that he's looking 3 shots ahead. He's not looking right at that second, because he could put a rock in the house and a counter, but he wants to avoid the other skip from having an easier time at scoring 2.
He's going right up to peel it out. Doesn't want to get in any trouble.
And you noticed as the week's gone on too that the ice has got a little bit straighter, and that these peel attempts, these guys are throwing big weight, and they release the rocks so well. And he's basically putting the broom where he would like the rock to be hit. So just really pure releases. And Ron's not giving up. He's not giving up on his corner guards. We're on sheet 5 here at the Kelowna Curling Club on sheet 1 or sheet 4 has after the first end, Alberta and Ontario semifinal ladies. The first end was blanked, so Alberta has the hammer in the second end at 0-0. The other ladies' game is over on sheet 8, and that is Quebec versus Manitoba. And Manitoba scored their deuce in the first end. So much like our game, Quebec is with the hammer in the second end, down by 2. And we're looking over at the far sheet, which is undefeated team Saskatchewan playing against Alberta, and they were able to blank the first end as well. And it looks like Saskatchewan has the hammer over there. I believe Saskatchewan maintains the hammer into the second end. So back on our game, a couple of guard attempts and a couple of very successful peels. So Ron's going to try and put this rock just in a little bit of a different spot. So just change it up. They've had in-turn peels, out-turn peels on both sides on corner guards about the 8 foot. So he's going to try and put this rock just in a little bit of a different spot, just to change it up for Ontario. So, and he is coming into the house. That was the call.
You played Destiny?
Okay.
It is nice to have some open draw opportunities early in the game to get a good feel for the ice, for the weight, different paths. And Ontario is making their most offensive call at the end and coming around the corner guard. They could draw open. They're going to come around and potentially steal.
Yeah, he would love to completely bury this and force BC to 1. Be one up with the hammer playing the third end.
Wide open.
It would have been interesting if Ron's rock was about another foot closer to the house. It's just, it would be chippable, which means he would be able to draw across the face of it, knock it into the house, and roll the shooter in. Yeah. So if for some reason the Ontario skip didn't hit the house, two would still be on the board for Ron just by the opportunity of that shot.
So Ron's going to peel this out, blank the end, hopefully, and start again fresh the next end, get some guards up, and hopefully create some offense.
And I anticipate Ontario going top 4, Ron going corner, top 8, another corner, and then a series of peels from Ontario, and then Ron will make a decision about when to make a play on that top 8 rock and try and work his deuce that way. And, well, there it is.
Just makes
Great
it.
Sweeping.
Very nice
Great
shot.
Sweeping. I thought my whole theory was going down the drain right there.
Talk about 3 shots ahead. You were like 10.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, mission accomplished for BC. Mission accomplished in the second end for Ontario. They both got to be happy about how that ended up. BC wasn't forced. They had their opportunities. And Ontario did exactly what they wanted to do. So.
There is a fundraising component to this event, and the teams were asked to raise money for the Love of Curling charity
Yeah, you're making
that
some
sits
good
with
combo,
Curling
I think,
Canada, and that is a charity that supports developmental and junior curling. And the winners were announced tonight. The Team BC ladies raised $6,250 for the charity through fundraising. They had a beer and wing night at their curling club. They had 50-50 draws. They had a number of fundraisers, and Nate rose a significant amount of money. And they will receive one of four $1,000 grants for the Campbell River Curling Club for club improvements. So congratulations to the Team BC ladies, to the Campbell River Curling Club for raising that money for such a great cause, and I hope that $1,000 goes a long way for club improvements in your community.
How much? Okay, it's Sandy only right, or what's his name? Dave only right now. Dave, if you can. You got to touch center. Even if you're
Now, we
on,
did
you
see
gotta touch
Ontario
center.
throw it, top
Yeah, all
four.
the way. Both go. Both
BC
go.
through the
Good.
corner. And
Go.
the call from Ontario was a tight
I thought you threw it well,
guard.
Sandy. You got
So,
there. No, you're good. Really good.
game on.
It's a picture-perfect end so far.
Lead Darren Richards asked us to say hello to his children if we had an opportunity. Caden, Gracelyn, and 8-year-old Callie. Daddy's up here living his dream, having some fun. So hopefully everything's going well at home.
Came up a little shorter than he would like, but the line was nice.
You want to guard the one?
Ontario's got a couple of really good options here. They could straight up throw a guard and force BC to chase a little bit
I
here.
guess we don't want to just do that. That's tough, though. I think that's what we do. Yeah.
I agree.
Yep.
You're up 2. You have to play the
Oh, you're hitting
scoreboard.
about half? Yeah.
And I think the call is
Even
just
this
to roll
This
up.
is really good too, Graham.
Okay, so roll into the middle.
Middle curl, yeah.
I believe the first call was to roll out, was it not, Lee?
Yes.
No. No, never. Yep. We're killing our own, I think. I don't know. Good.
Oh, just misses it.
Just over the top. So now
That was my hair.
Team Ontario's trying force BC into the harder shots. They'll that's a great call by the skip. Give your team the easier shots and force the other side into the harder ones. So they force BC super wide.
The Supers are going hard on this, and just needs to curl a little bit.
Looks good.
Nice.
Just undercurled just a hair from being perfect.
Yeah, I like that a lot. Just kind of unlock it a foot. You're only throwing T-line top 4.
Now, Team Ontario wants to free up their shot stone, which is just a little bit deeper than the BC Red Rock. They want to free it up without removing it or moving it into the open. So if they can get to the inside of this Red Rock, BC is going to be in a position where they're going to be forced to run something back into the bunch.
How much?
So
Yes, Dave. Whoa, 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 whoa,
This looks
whoa, whoa, no, you can't.
just got a little bit of curling to do. Just don't want to kick it in the open. There you go. It's
Great
perfect.
weight.
It's perfect.
Might throw a hack.
BC does have an angle on the red rock into the crotch of these two yellows. This is a great example how one shot can turn an end around. How everything looks really good for Ontario. Right now, one excellent shot by BC can change the complete complexion of this end right here.
Yep. Come on. Whoa, 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 whoa.
Okay.
It's too bad they couldn't have kept that shot rock around. Have Ontario looking at a few reds in the house.
The way it's the way the intern is walking over there, even with a tight guard and shot rock being at the top four, it's totally accessible with any sort of through the house or hack weight. So Ontario's taken a little bit of time on this, and rightfully so. That's rock placement here is going to be very important.
It looks to me that if he hit that top red, half a rock, he could lose all the reds.
They could all go.
But he's not looking at that. He's looking at getting another yellow in there.
Yeah. I think his call was right down to the face of shot stone.
Okay, then. Whoa.
So lots of room
You're too
here.
low. Looks a little hot. No, over and off. You're over and off.
Okay. The line's not great on this, and the skip recognized it. The front end gave him the information on the weight, and the decision was to leave it as a guard. Perfect communication.
This is a good call for BC. I mean, they need to open it up so that they have a shot on their last one.
Yeah.
Hopefully for a couple, but
I don't think I
Yeah.
it's always so important to keep the center open when you have the hammer.
Yeah, really important to score, to not go 3 down against a team as gifted and as talented as Team Ontario. Which I've watched a couple of their games this week, and they're very, very solid players. Really nice men too, but just incredible shot makers. Great sweepers.
One's okay. It's gotta
And,
get to center.
So you can be nice and be a good curler.
I know. Isn't that the perfect 1-2?
Okay, then. Whoa. You're over and off then at that point.
I just can't say enough about how generous the athletes and their families have been with their time, and all the different fun we've had this week. I think Ron still doesn't like the makeup of this, so he's going to attempt the double peel again and just change this up, and doesn't mind if one or two of the rocks in the house gets shifted around, because they're not lined up well for him right now.
Right up. Heel.
Yeah. So peel weight, which is throw it as hard as you can.
Yeah, leave the dead pocket.
Norm Cote.
Get the back one first then. Whoa, yep. Yep. Yep.
There we go. Didn't touch anything in the house, but did remove the 2 front rocks. Had a chance to chat with Norm for a couple minutes right before they went on the ice. He wanted to make sure that we mentioned his two prides and joys at home, Aiden and Madison. That he was thinking about them and having fun, and looking forward to seeing you when he gets home.
It's got to be nose or better on the inside. I'm just thinking control. Just kill this. You have to do a little bit more work then. But I'm leaving this side. Okay. Let's hit it a hair low with control. It shouldn't move here if you're just there with control. Sure. For nose or hair low, yeah. Like, what is this?
Even a hair less, I think, because you can be pretty. You like a hair less? Because you can do this.
Yes, yeah, because that's fine, eh? Yeah, as long as we hit it sort of a hair low, control. Yeah, I don't want to throw too much at it.
Leslie's looking at getting rid of
No, we could. That's certainly the miss. And then
the
you just
Ontario
watch the
Rocks,
kind of take it over there.
keeping his shooter around top
We're
12.
going to sit right there.
So he's talking
just wanna kill the
control
back
weight a hair low. So
Right now, that's
the
kind of a shot for two.
hair low is just crossing the face with this turn. He wants to flop in front of shot rock and remove the
Graham, go. All
back
the way.
red rock.
Oh. Hard. Hard. Yep. All the way.
This
It's
is
really curling on him.
Really curling.
Dave, the back one.
Look behind you.
So the end result is he's line 2, but there is a double. The angle, he wanted his shooter to stay on the center line to still block this rock. So not the perfect result. A little bit of an opening here for BC.
Yeah, that was.
So if they can make the double, they will have 2 rocks behind a corner guard
Well, I guess it'd be nuts and no, I can't.
buried. So good opportunity for BC.
That's right.
So
And then all of a sudden 3 could be in play.
it's amazing how fast these ends can turn around.
Yeah, and that was sort of the missed call. Was I thought we were just kind of rolled by D. I thought if we hit that thin, we would have killed more of the top red. But I guess they were pretty close together. Small. But my worry about that was you still did the same shot, the hit and roll behind the corner.
They're going hard on it.
I like it.
That's a great shot. Sitting 2, almost behind cover. I think Ontario can see a good half of that rock.
I think we're probably gonna see
Get by with normal, eh?
a run back.
Yeah.
That was a great shot.
I
A
mean,
good confidence boost for BC.
Norm?
Those are the types of shots they're going to have to make.
Yeah, excellent execution. Great weight call. Put the broom in the right spot. Good line call. Everybody's happy on Team BC right now. So Wesley figures that there's
If I
enough.
think we can see enough, we can always throw smoke.
There's enough curl here that he can get up to
Sorry about the first one. It kind of went sideways on us.
almost half this rock
I
with
can't really see a lot of that. We could also
some
play
sort
the
of
intro
some sort of
threes,
takeout weight. I didn't hear what his exactly what his weight call was, but he is playing the double.
I mean, we got to hit one. I think we can hit it thick enough past the guard that we stick around. Sandy, go.
It's real close. Wow. Just gets by, over curls a hair, and doesn't get the back one. So that gives BC the opportunity for a shot for 2, and that's a tied game.
Fine call.
Excellent shot by Wesley, and now hit and stick for Ron for a deuce, tie this game up, and
No, we did not.
head to the all-important fourth end.
No. If you throw any less, you're not. You're playing so close to the guard. I mean, we did anyway. No, it'll be worth looking at that one. I mean, I like the call on my first if we know that are better. Like, no, just stay around the top. Because then we have a roster we can.
Ron's,
doesn't matter.
Ron's chosen very, very lightweight. And this, oh, he's drawing. I apologize. It's line shot, rock drawn.
Supers are really trying to drag this one. Oh, it came up short.
Just short.
Really good
Oh,
start,
that's
Sandy.
too bad. He could have easily hit it, but felt comfortable with the draw weight and came up a little short.
So advantage Team Ontario at this point. You see some of our sponsors coming up on the screen now. We thank them for their generosity. And I know the players have been frequenting quite a few of the
Wineries?
public houses and wineries in the neighborhood. Yeah, Team Yukon especially. So shout out to Pat Kozlowski. Him and his team were not going to be denied any of the festivities while they were here. They took part in absolutely everything. So good for them. Curling out of the Whitehorse Curling Club.
So Team Ontario is from the Cataraqui Golf and Country Club in Kingston, Ontario. And coincidentally, that is the host for the 2017 Travelers Curling Club Championship. So next year, we will take the championship back east to Ontario.
Yeah, Graham.
And we look forward to hosting the
Whoa, whoa,
championship
for the other
in
way.
Ontario's capital.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
I had an opportunity to talk to them for a couple of minutes right before the game, and they mentioned that they wanted to thank everybody from their club for the fundraiser that they put on for them back there to raise some money for their trip out here. I mean, a lot of the costs are covered for the players, but there's also a lot of other costs, especially when you're coming across the country. You know, they're not buying your sandwiches at the airport for you, so they wanted to thank everybody from the club for helping out and allowed them to have a great week here. So as they keep rolling on here on their quest.
Okay, room right now. Okay, line's really good. I think Dave lean maybe.
Sandy's placing his corner guards.
Okay, well then. 16-7. Really good, Sandy. Good. Like that.
We're into it now, right? Hey? Wants a blanket? Let him blanket.
Sandy being David's dad. And you see a lot of that in club curling, playing with your family. And there's a lot of siblings or father, son, or daughters and mothers out here this week playing together. And I think that's it's a really feel-good thing to be able to play with your family, and especially at a national championship. I'm sure that's memories that they will cherish for a lifetime.
This afternoon I did the Ontario women's game, and the lead was the mother. The skip and the third were her two daughters. And they'd been playing in a league at their curling club for years, and made it here. They were just so excited about playing at a championship, and what better way to do it? Play with your mom, and she was doing very, very well.
I guess we'll ride it out.
You see through the center guard here, being one down without. Ontario had a corner guard. They had an opportunity to either go around it, remove it, or throw the center guard.
Dave,
And they chose the more aggressive,
lean. Just lean.
it's an excellent call, and Ontario is would like to dictate the play, so they are not going to. They're going to remove it.
No, you don't want to blank, but I don't.
So, and Ron would like to dictate the play, and he'd like to have an opportunity to steal, so he's going to replace the center guard.
If we make it, it's good. Go talk to them and freeze, we rep. I think maybe we go to paint.
These teams are very technically sound. You can tell that they've been working on their game, and what we did today was we had a high performance clinic for the curlers here at the Kelowna Curling Club, and we had 8 celebrity coaches come out and help today, including Pat Ryan, who did the off-ice strategy session, and we did an on-ice session where we worked on the stance and the hack, generating power, grips, turns, and releases, sweeping. And it really gives the curlers the opportunity to ask questions for our celebrity coaches,
Yes, Dave.
such as Jim Ursel.
Hard, Dave.
And myself was out there, and we had a really good time. And with the club curlers, sometimes we don't have access to these high caliber coaches, so it was really well received. We had a good time, and we had about 40 curlers out today.
Excellent. Well supported event.
Where do you want to rip it?
Now we just saw Team Ontario remove the center guard. It was a very tight center guard, so they tried to bring the weight down just a hair and hit and roll in behind their corner, and they came very, very close to succeeding with that. What this has done has forced BC to go around a corner guard, which is exactly what Ontario was hoping for, keeping the play away from the center. And the other option for BC was to try a double peel. The downside on that was even a half a shot. One of those yellow rocks could end up in the house, and you could be actually making a shot for your opponents. So he chose to go around the corners, hopefully forcing Ontario to 1. That was his plan on that. So
I like throwing hack at it, no?
these rocks are edge on edge. So Wesley figures that with hack weight that they can actually get an inside roll here. So partially bury it behind. So it's just a question of the weight.
All the way. Hard! Hard! Hard, hard, hard! Hard! Whoa! Shot. Good stroke, Sadie.
And what a throw. Absolutely perfect weight.
Again.
Mr. Staples swept that from coast to coast, held it up. Excellent brushing.
Room, like, that's the icing for
Repeal.
but it went a little bit.
3/4 buried. And those rocks were edge on edge when it started at the top 8. So that's the kind of movement that we're seeing here in Kelowna.
Yeah, you hang it.
Close. Yep. 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 Yep.
What a great shot.
Run back.
He made that look easy.
Run back attempt successful for Norm Cote. Great shot.
Kind of everything. Yeah, try and go right around it. The miss is pretty good.
The last time Ontario men won the Travelers Curling Club Championship was actually when it was the Dominion Curling Club Championship, and that was back in 2009. And that was won by the Chatham Granite Curling Club.
Sadie!
BC has never won the national title, so I'm sure that they would love
Yep. Whoa,
to
whoa.
not only win,
Yes.
but win in their home
Go,
province.
Grant, go, 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 go. Get it right out of there. Go, 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 go. Okay, good.
Ontario right back on the offense. BC makes the run back double, rolls out with their shooter, leaving a tight corner guard. And Ontario didn't miss a beat. They were right back on, going around it, trying to work their deuce that way. Just rubbed and rolled in. So BC has to be a little bit careful here, because that rock is completely chippable in to lie 2 now. Ron wants to make sure that he sticks around on this.
Sometimes the best way to do that is not to throw, your regular 9 or 9.5, bringing it down to a 10 hit weight or board, where even if you do hit less of the rock, your chances of staying around are greater.
Yeah, your room for error is you've got a lot more. You've got a lot more room to stick around. It's just coming out high and hard. We've seen it over and over and over in competitive curling, where the players choose to bring it down to board weight. And board weight is through the house past the hack, so it's enough weight to remove a rock. But even if you hit a half a rock, you're still going to stay in the house. So Ron's thrown. That's a little bit more weight than he wanted to throw. He talked about border control, which is just down from their normal hit weight, and that rock looked like it was cooking pretty good when it got down here. So it did not take the curl, and he rolled out.
Okay, so he's definitely going to secure his 1 by throwing draw weight, and if he happens to tick the top one on the way by, there's a possibility for 2.
You're kind of nosing it, which is not the worst idea, because a double would then be tough on this straight spot.
Yeah, I think with this ice, he's actually going to try and go around that rock.
Hold it. Just leave it there. Mine's fine. Sandy clean. Sandy clean. Sandy clean. Graham clean. It's Graham's rock.
This is
Line's getting
the
good.
weight. The weight is good. The line is
Go,
getting
Graham!
better. This is
How good was that line?
This is a clinic. Perfect weight. The communication between the front end and the third.
Really good judge.
He knew exactly where that rock was going to end up. So calling the line, they made his job a lot easier. He went by that rock by, I don't know, what do you say, Lee? It went by an inch, and in the following 3 feet, it's fully buried. So
You almost knows it. But you
that's
He could play the run here. I mean, they're not that far away, and he could remove both.
do it for me right now.
Either that or I just play
He
the
could
double up.
nick the top one on the way by and open up a 3-baller.
What? You do what?
I like the hit. The double.
I do too.
This is risky business.
Yeah. I mean, he's very confident. He knows the downside to this. Is he? He's, okay, now he's talking board weight.
With the down sweeper. He's hitting it now.
Tad more, I think.
There's not
I
much.
must say, the angle is a bit deceiving on the screen. There is quite a bit more space than it actually looks. So it's a bit deceiving.
And I think there's a little bit more of the rock showing than what it shows on the screen as well.
Yeah.
Control down. No. No. Whoa. 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 Whoa.
Oh, great shot. That was
Made
pretty
it.
tough.
Now we'll see if Team Ontario takes on what we spoke about before on the. No, he's going to take the blank. Take the blank and go to the break. 1 up with the hammer. So on the other scores, on the other sheets, on sheet 4, they're at their fourth end break as well. Going into the fifth end, Ontario and Alberta, the ladies' game ladies semifinal is 1-1, and Alberta has the hammer going into the fifth end. The other ladies' game over on sheet 8, Quebec versus Manitoba, is tied at 2, playing the fourth end. It looks like Last Rock is. Looks like it's a draw for 2 for Manitoba, and sheet 9 is Saskatchewan versus Alberta, the other semifinal men's game, and it also is in the fourth end. It's 2-1 Saskatchewan, and Alberta has the hammer with thirds. They're just throwing thirds rocks now, but there is a lot of rocks in play over there, so they are mixing it up. So.
Lots of close games so far, and that's a testament to the teams, the caliber of players. It's a lot of fun to watch, and it's a nice atmosphere here tonight. There's a party for the players, for the volunteers. We'll be dancing, music later on, but in the meantime, this is great curling.
Before there was ice, there was our hallway at home. I was always the shy, quiet kid who loved math. But when I saw math come alive in the geometry of the game, I found my passion and my voice. It's a game of precision, a game of inches. It's the equation that now defines who I am.
This ice is everything. It's where I come to feel close to her, to feel whole. This building helped raise me when my mother no longer could. When I step on the ice, she steps with me. My dad is my rock. We're a team now, like the 4 of us when we step on the ice. People say that this isn't a contact sport, but that's not true. It contacts you where you need it the most.
Welcome back after the fourth end break here in the semifinal game of the Travelers Curling Club Championship, BC versus Ontario, and it's 2-1 for Ontario. And Ontario has the hammer here in the fifth end. And welcome back to you, Steve.
Yes, thank you. My name's Steve Wright. I'm here with Lee Armstrong. And thank you, Lee, for having me with you today. This has been a great experience for me, and we're really looking forward to the last half of this game. BC started it off as we would expect, with a perfect center guard halfway to the house, and Ontario's chosen to go directly around. So
game on,
as they say.
My dad just reminded me that my dad, Ken Armstrong, at home, he just reminded me that the 2009 men's final of the Dominion Curling Club Championship was BC versus Ontario.
2009.
So BC has made it to the finals in the past, winning the silver medal at St. George's Golf and Country Club in Etobicoke, Ontario.
You have to text your dad and ask him who the BC rep was at that event, just for interest's sake.
Yeah, you can play the same turn and try and make it, or even beat it. Story straight for the lid.
We could ask Jim Mann. He would know.
He would know. That's Jim has been the representative for the BC division of the playdown at the Richmond Curling Club for so many years.
And the champion for BC comes through the Pacific International Cup, which is an annual event at the Richmond Curling Club. And it's an international event. And it's in its at least 10th year now. Wonderful event, but that's how the BC champion is derived every year.
I last played in that event in 2004 and 2005, so that would make that event 12 years old, 12, 13 years old. And another one, volunteer-driven, Jim's committee down there works a good portion of a half a year getting that event ready to go, and they just do a phenomenal job.
Yeah, it was a pleasure working with them in 2012 when we hosted the Dominion Curling Club Championship at the Richmond Curling Club. It's a first-class facility.
This end started out with BC making two perfect guards and Ontario making two perfect come-arounds. So Ontario actually forced BC into a double attempt on their own stones, because Ontario made two absolutely perfect draws to the top 4 and the top 8. Excellent throw by the Ontario second. Nice firm weight peel. Forcing BC, or, well, just not giving BC any options. They could try and come around this without the hammer, which would be incredibly aggressive. So the call is to hit and stick on the high one, eventually get a double, and or try and get a double, and put this end in the books.
It's at this point in the game where you really want to be cognizant of odd and even ends.
Yeah, the importance of that sixth end, and setting yourself up for that. Everybody wants the hammer in 6.
6 and 8. So the theory is that you would have 2 hammers to the other team's one hammer.
Yeah. And then if it comes down to that, we can have that whole discussion, Lee, and I'm sure we'll there's always two sides to that coin. What would you rather have coming into 8? Would you rather be one down with or one up without? Because it's incredible how many times that scenario plays out in our game. And I read somewhere last year that it surprised me a bit that one down, one up without actually wins about 60% of the time at the competitive level. Not at the club level, but at the Mike McHugh and Kevin Martin level.
Right.
So surprised me a bit. But these guys are so accurate, such good throwers that scoring a deuce is not the easiest thing in the world to do.
He probably would have liked to throw that a little bit harder or hit it a little thinner to get rid of the yellow.
Yeah. So kicking that the Ontario yellow rock out to the 12-foot has allowed Ontario, at this stage in the end, at thirds rocks to separate the house and try and work a deuce. So we'll see how it goes. Mission accomplished for Ontario second, rolling away. There's no double for BC, so they have to try and group these stones, get it a little bit closer.
I like that too. Generally, we try to hit the one on the outside when you can, and then get the play to the center and hopefully setting up a double down the road.
Yeah, I agree. I think this is there's no Ron knows exactly what he's doing, and he's not going to make the wrong call.
I really got to go on this one. It's really curling. Will it stay around? Slips out the back.
This is going to give Ontario the opportunity to keep these stones well separated and keep their deuce alive with 3 Ontario shots to come and only 2 BC shots. And I'm guessing this is going to be pretty close. These guys know exactly what the speed is. We've heard them communicate to each other when they're sitting in the hack talking about the weight. And if there's any changes in the weight, they're picking up on it very quickly. And if it's a little bit different speed from one side of the sheet to the other, they're picking up on it.
Yeah, they're not making many mistakes.
No, it's a very, very solid team. It's actually a really lot of fun to watch. These guys are club curlers, but they're curlers. Like, there's no doubt about that.
Club curlers are curlers too.
That's it. That's me. That's we're all Monday night men's.
That's right.
Tuesday night ladies, and that's what this event's all about.
I actually have a T-shirt that says "Curlers are people too."
Perfect.
So he's opting for the freeze.
Whoa, Ron. Okay.
I wouldn't be surprised if the front end talks him out of this. That's super precise. You can't afford to give up 3. 2's okay. I guess in his eyes, he's thinking if I give up 2, it's way too wide open, and he wants to keep them to 1 at all costs.
Yeah, with still 2 stones to go.
No guards.
No guards. I mean, it's never the. If he executes this perfectly, it's great. He knows exactly what he's doing. He knows the ice and he knows the weight. So good on you, Ron. He's right on the broom. Sweepers haven't touched it.
Can they go around it?
They're saying it's bumping, so just a touch heavy.
Okay, well, they kept the line. That's not half bad.
Okay.
It's a great shot.
You know what? That's
What do we know?
aggressive.
That's
call.
why we're on this side of the glass.
But I want to be out there so bad. That's the beauty of this event is just these guys are great players and they can execute anything. So
Was he playing the straight pick or?
he's even if he just high sides this rock and rolls wide, I think he's going to have enough pace on this to remove that red rock.
That's the thing with curlers these days. They're getting so accurate with high weight that it's almost impossible to throw a perfect freeze because virtually anything can be picked out or removed. And there's a perfect example.
Yeah, perfect shot.
Did you watch? Pretty clean. Oh, okay. No, I didn't try to throw it.
And Ron's chosen the same shot again. Just no bounce this time, or just a hair of a bounce, and he'd like to be right on the nose of this rock. Make the two for Team Ontario much more difficult. The downside is he's leaving 3 in play.
Timeout.
So
let's listen.
yeah.
The only problem by making it now is he can just draw for his second point anyhow. What? I mean, if I'm frozen to it, he's got the whole pot again. And if I'm not frozen, if I take the draw away, he hits the nose, he's got his 2 anyways, and there's so much more risk by playing this freeze.
Okay, so
It's too flat.
no matter what we play, you still have a shot for 2.
Sure. Okay. Yes, but this way he doesn't have. Yes, but this way he doesn't have a shot for 3 if I hit something, right?
Yeah. We're okay with hitting something. What do you want to hit?
Geez, that would. I mean, that's the perfect shot. The roll over to there, right? Yeah. Yep. I think that's the shot. I'll throw kind of control at it, so we. Yeah. Huh? I don't know. I guess.
I like it.
If we control up, I got to get some action on the shooter.
I think Ron spelled that out for us really clearly, that even if he makes the freeze, he feels that the deuce is, he's got the complete button area to draw to, and feels that his counterpart from Ontario would execute that. So perfect shot here is the out-turn quiet hit with a roll towards our right-hand side to the back 8, half around, half behind the other yellow rock. And this one is over curling.
Not exactly what he wanted, but I don't think flirting with giving up 3 was a good idea. So I'm a advocate for the hit.
I'd agree, and Ontario still has to hit and stick. So if I was a betting man, I think Wesley will make this 9.5 times out of 10. Just a technically perfect delivery.
Well, right off. Clean, Sandy, clean. Just clean, Sandy.
Perfect shot, and there's 2 for Ontario. Now they're up by 3, going into the 6th end.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
And there's a measure on sheet 4, Alberta against Ontario. Looks like they're actually measuring 3 rocks in their measurement.
Line's right on. You can go a bit, Dave. It's going sideways.
This must be very, very close.
Okay, so
Quite a bit of discussion there. So
Sadie opted to throw his first one into the rings, and will likely throw his second one into the rings as well to get as much play into the house as possible. And while BC sets up their guards and tries to at least get out a deuce this end to keep things close.
and I think we'll see some of the, some of the high hard peels that we talked about. The second is on Team Ontario is capable of throwing very accurately. So after one more draw from Ontario, I think we'll probably see another corner guard from BC, and then we'll see how Ontario does with peeling and forcing the play back into the center of the ice.
How much?
So
Stay close, Dave. Please.
no big surprises on strategy here. They both know exactly what they're doing. They both have a plan. They're both going to stick to it and try and dictate the play. They both their teams have been playing very well.
Oh, great shots.
Executing. So Ron wants to keep these corner guards far enough apart that the double peel is not is harder.
Ontario scored 1 on sheet 4 to make the score 1-1 going into the 6th. Alberta has the hammer. And we look over to the other ladies semifinal.
I think that's the one we
Quebec
wanna get rid of.
5 and Manitoba 4, and they're playing the 6th end. And then over to the other men's semifinal, Saskatchewan 2, Alberta 2 with Saskatchewan with the hammer, and they're still playing the 5th. A lot of rocks in play in that semifinal.
Team Saskatchewan and Team Alberta on the men's side are not afraid to play with rocks in play. There we go. We just talked about it. Almost a perfect execution of the double peel. Just kissed the backside of the second rock. So there's still a corner there for Ron, and the yellow Ontario rock did roll to the back of the 12-foot. So.
I like that call. A little tap on the top one and open up the 4-foot. I also like the freeze on the one back 12 behind corner. But I think this is a wise choice. Yep. So often you see you want to go for your 2 so badly that you play uber aggressive and then end up giving up a steal because the center is congested with yellow rocks, and really they can't afford to give up any more points. They definitely have to make sure of their 1, hope for 2, and possibly with 3 while they rearrange these rocks behind the tee line, because as they say, rocks behind the tee line are your friends.
Exactly. Well said.
I'm really impressed with Wesley. I haven't had a chance to watch him before, but he really seems to have a game plan. He's confident in his calls. He's putting the broom in the right place.
Yeah, he hasn't shown us any part of his game that is not on point. His strategy's been excellent. Well, they are 6-0.
And that's scary sometimes when you're undefeated going into, the last couple days and into championship weekend. And you see it at the European Championships this week where Eve Muirhead was 10-0 and she comes up against Russia in the semifinals and unfortunately came up short there. And it's one loss and it's an unfortunate time. And it's always in the back of your mind, right? Like, okay, we haven't lost all week. Like, can we go undefeated all week now? And that's kind of when you want the Page system, a little safety net when you've gone undefeated all week.
Yeah, sign of a good team here too with Team Ontario, that they've tried to dictate the play and they've maintained that, and Wesley's made the calls and his team's executed, so they've allowed him to continue. So there's a bit of an opportunity here for BC with 3 Ontario Rocks behind the T line and it's no corner guards left, but opportunity to freeze to a stone at the back. This looks really
Nice weight.
very nice throw. Ontario's going to take on the double. There's a little bit of risk here. And I think with the speed that he's going to throw this. First things first, get rid of that high rock. Yep. So. Excellent execution.
Norm would like to give a shout out to all the guys at work, his coworkers who are watching during work hours. Probably off now, I hope. And also to his mom, Marietta.
So BC's chosen to freeze to the 2 rocks wide. They do have shot stone in front of a Yellowstone on the 4-foot, and if this is made perfectly, I think you'll see Ontario go after the one on the button first. This is perfect.
This is David's bread and butter, the high weight doubles. I've seen him throw a lot of these. It's a lot of fun to watch. You can tell he's worked hard at his game and throwing that big weight accurately. Actually, that was quite controlled for David, and that was an 8-second takeout.
Threw it very, very accurately. So who is shot? Who's second shot in the back? That's the question for Ron right now. So he's asked Norm Cote to freeze on the rock that's in the back 4 foot. This looks a little bit hot. Yeah. Just rolled to a very unfortunate spot.
Alberta scored 3 in the ladies' game against Ontario in the 5th, then making the score 4-1.
Well, he let that one go from the hip. Ron's chosen to try the freeze attempt again. Perfect shot, and he's 2 still on the board for him. So that weapon of Wesley's with the ultra peel is going to have to be absolutely perfect.
See Graham following the rock down on the right-hand side of the screen. And that's just to get a gauge on how the rock's running, because he knows that Wesley might not have to draw. So he wants to know the path. Great weight, just didn't get the finish. Is there a jam opportunity if he hits this the wrong way on the side too?
Yeah, I think there is. His third motion that this rock should go underneath the 2 at the back, but I'm not so sure about that. But if he throws it as hard as he threw the last one, as long as it doesn't jam right on the nose, it'll still go out. So let's check his backswing on this one. Yeah, he's up to his hip. He's throwing it hard. Yep, no doubt.
What is that throwing from the hip?
When he took a backswing, we're all taught now that the rock doesn't leave the ice. And when he brought that back in his backswing, he brought it up to his hip height. It wasn't just a little Kevin Cooey lifted off the ice. He was generating 44 pounds from his hip. And that's about as hard as you can throw a curling rock, going that high. So, and he throws it accurately. Just a great throw. So I didn't see what Ron called. Is he trying the blanket, throwing the double? Yeah.
Supers are on it.
There we go. 1 for BC, 4-2 Ontario. Playing the 7th end. Ontario has the hammer. A few of our sponsors up on the screen. Sandhill Winery just down the road from us. Sampled their products many times.
Well, we're down to the last 2 ends, and BC is going to want to steal. And Ontario is going to want to keep this open, maybe even a blank opportunity to get the hammer in the 8th. And unfortunately, we had a hog rock. I'm not sure if it picked, but that's bad timing for Team BC.
That is unfortunate. That must have picked something. The sweepers did not jump on it right away, and it stopped a good 6 feet from the hog line. These guys are such excellent judges of weight and releases that if it was that light, they would have been on it right away. So we've been very fortunate all week with the ice surface being very clean and very consistent. So it's unfortunate at this stage of a game to have a pick rock like that. But part of the game. We all know it.
And Ontario has conceded against Alberta on sheet 4. And Alberta will move on women's final tomorrow at 10 a.m. Congratulations, Team Alberta, and to Team Ontario for a wonderful run this week. They will now play in the bronze medal game. That's also tomorrow at 10 a.m.
We were talking about the different teams that were at this event from all the provinces and territories previously to the event, and trying to figure out who was going to be the favorites, who was going to be there at the end. And true to form, the 4 men's teams, well, it was 5. Manitoba was actually in that discussion as well. We felt was that any of those 5 would be in the final 4, and as it turns out, the 4 teams that deserve to be here are here. So it's going to be a great final, whoever wins these 2 games, and I think the bronze medal game will be just as good. So medal hopes are not over with a loss here, with the bronze medal game going the same time as the gold silver medal games tomorrow
And
at 10.
The bronze medal game is new to the event. That's new since 2015 when Curling Canada took over the planning of the event. And it's a great addition because it gives the curlers some more games, and it's consistent with all the other Curling Canada events, such as the Brier or the Scotties, where they do play for that bronze medal game. And more curling to watch for us.
It's perfect. It's a win-win for everybody. Number one, we're all curling fans. So Team BC throwing up another center guard. They, with 2 down, without the hammer and 2 ends to go. It's a long three ends. If you're Team BC, you need to steal, steal, and steal. So not impossible, but
They're going to need to get some misses out of the Ontario guys.
they've got their work cut out for them. And Team Ontario has just shown us no chinks in the armor at all. They're very, very consistent players. Excellent releases, great weight control. The communication on the team has just been phenomenal. Nobody gets in the hack not understanding exactly what they're throwing and what's required of them. Their weight judgment, the talking between the sweepers and the person in the house. The man in the house has got all the information that he needs to call the line. So,
What position do you play, Steve?
I am a skip. So I'm a senior now, playing senior playdowns in British Columbia here.
Well, good luck to you.
Thank you very much, and you as well.
Thank you. And you actually went up to Comox Valley.
I did. The company that I work for opened an office there in the Comox Valley, so it was twofold. I went over to curl with one of the gentlemen that I work with that just moved there to Crown Isle Golf Course, and the opportunity arose to go over for their men's bonspiel 2 weeks ago, and met Team BC, and had a great time. The hospitality was phenomenal. We had a really, really, really good time over there.
And that's on the island?
Yeah, that's about an hour and 15 minutes north of Nanaimo. And Team BC, 2 of the members are from the Comox Courtenay area, and 2 of them are from Campbell River, which is, if there's any fishermen out there, Campbell River's one of the salmon fishing hotspots in Canada, and it's about a half an hour north of the Comox Courtenay Valley. So I've run across Team BC 2 or 3 times this year early in the curling season at different events. While they were getting prepared for this event, they were traveling around to try and get some more competition. I played them in Abbotsford at a men's event there, and then again in Courtenay. So they were extremely. They had a plan. They knew exactly what they wanted to do, and they were going to get prepared for this event. So now they're in medal contention. So.
David's taking a look at this, and Wesley, and they're taking a look. How do we get rid of these red rocks? Not jam. And where does our shooter going to sit? So they're going to take a timeout, and we'll tune in to their mics.
You know, I mean, if it's a bit higher, yes, Kablam, it's all gone.
Yeah, sorry, I thought it was here. I mean,
Yeah, you could, yeah.
It's really close to this.
I just like this arrangement now because you can't put a rock behind it because it's so
made his
easy.
ankle worse for himself, so.
Yeah. I mean, do we just make this first? What does he have right now? He's got that. He could have that double if doing.
Like throwing smoke, hit your nose, do you go?
Yeah, try. If we do it with the out turn, we might spin out that little bit,
I
eh?
never want to do this.
No, you can't roll in. You can't. You're better off killing the 2 than doing that.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, let's do that. Just firm, Dave, I think. Because it should float at just good firm, like not nuts.
I don't think it floats.
You don't think it floats? I think it does float a hair.
It floats on that side for sure.
It's straight. Let's go with it straight. You want to throw peel? Throw peel. Peel on the nose with the out turn. We should jump at a hair. Yeah, beak is good. Yeah, or roll out, but don't touch
Roll it
that.
out a bit.
We have a lot of options.
we all heard the discussion. Wesley really likes the alignment of the red-yellow going towards the forefoot because that eliminates any buried rock for BC being back there that is easily removable by hitting that rock. So his call is to not cross the face of this rock, to stay high side nose at the worst. Their weight discussion went everywhere from normal to firm to peel, and they chose peel at the end with very little ice. And another perfect execution. So Team BC is going to try and go around those and stay just maybe a third buried, a half buried back there. Because these rocks are almost frozen, the drag effect, there will be pretty much no place that BC can put it behind those two stones that Ontario can't get at it. So
I mean, yeah, and the first point will kill that red. It should nut the green back. If he's way back,
It's indicating that he was a little bit wide. He might be able to come off the yellow. They're still waiting for it to curl.
Just freeze the yellow. Freeze the yellow. Inside freeze.
What was that, plan C or D or E?
yeah, down the line a bit. Still puts another rock, another red rock in play.
over there, I don't see his point. Me try to do that? I mean, I think we just take it out. I think we play
Ontario had a very short discussion about the advantages of rolling in towards the forefoot. The jam potential on that one at the back would be there, but Ontario does have the hammer. So just by removing this rock and rolling out, they're still maintaining control.
I just straight deal, nothing crazy here. Just play.
No mistakes.
No mistakes.
These rocks,
We're not keeping percentage stats on the players or
We just go by mistakes or no mistakes.
or numbers on anybody, but I think if we had to guess on Wesley's numbers for this game, I remember one half shot early in the second end. I would say he's well into the 90s as a skip, so it's pretty good curling.
like practice back here.
No, you gotta get this way.
I've watched over the years the event in its 8th year, and just the caliber of play has gone up significantly since the beginning. It's always been good curling, but I've got to say this is the best year for, in my mind, for technical throwing abilities, strategies, bang on. So it's high caliber curling. It's high performance.
I think that says something about curling in Canada in general at the club level.
There's a big depth of curling in Canada, and it right down to the club level.
And even in different men's and ladies leagues, divided up into A blocks, B blocks, C blocks, and D blocks. That in the A block level, there is some phenomenal curlers. There's some incredible.
Look at that
curlers.
shot. That's a great come around. Didn't quite bury, but Ontario's got to look at it and he's got to make it.
Yeah.
I'll just throw firm. Yeah. I got 3/4. Yeah, good firm.
So he's basically put the broom down where he'd like to hit the rock. So he's going to throw this hard enough.
Actually, I like
His
peel
release
with that ice, so peel.
is so clean that I imagine he's going to be very, very close.
Yeah, I like that, yeah.
You can tell Wesley is playing with a lot of confidence. You know, I can see half, no problem, just throw peel. Like, it's almost like his self-talk is so bang on where you're not making the shot sound difficult. It's just throw it, peel, no problem.
Yeah.
Like, it's almost like he had that made before he even, got in the hack.
Yeah, he's playing confidently. There was no discussion down there. He just put the broom down and went down to throw it.
Oh, we've got handshakes here. They got 2.
So it makes it 6-2 after 7.
And game over. So congratulations, Team Ontario from the Cataract Way Golf and Curling Club. And congratulations to Team British Columbia from Comox Valley. Great game, great week. And you will see Team Ontario in the finals tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. And Team BC will play for bronze. Thank you so much for joining us today.
And thank you, Lee. It was an absolute pleasure to spend a couple of hours with you. And I look forward to having a beer.
Cheers.
Thank you.
Before there was ice, there was our hallway at home. I was always the shy, quiet kid who loved math. But when I saw math come alive in the geometry of the game, I found my passion and my voice. It's a game of precision, a game of inches. It's the equation that now defines who I am.